What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode 200. We finally made it to the big 200. I am so excited. I can't believe that we've made it this far. Thank you guys for watching and listening to these crazy shows that we do each and every week. With me, as always, from Denver, Colorado, is Jason Ashby. Jason, how are you feeling after this week, my friend?
Well, happy 200 to you, sir.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's not great. This is for those of you not watching and just listening. This is me waving the white flag, on the 2025 season. Uh, but I'm still here. I'm still gonna fight. I know how to play spoiler. I have Cody this week, you next week. So, I know how to play spoiler.
Mm-hmm. I regret saying all the bad things about my cupcake matchups toward the end of the year. Please don't hurt me this late. I don't I don't want to not make the playoffs, or I want to make the playoffs. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
meant to say.
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, but now we can sit back and watch the Mets try to lose the playoffs.
God almighty. They are the worst team in baseball right now. I swear to it, they are. They might not be like statistically the worst team in baseball, but they look like the worst team in baseball right now.
They just look lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's dive into this thing and let's kick things off with the premier matchup that we love to see. It was first place versus second place, and we get quite a finish. It was a 10-9 finish in favor of Josh Haber. On Sunday, Josh flipped innings pitched, he tied saves, he untied relief appearances, and Ben flipped walks by a hitter. So it was 10-9 Ben going in. It comes out 10-9 Josh. Close categories this week. Josh wins by 3 doubles, 2 stolen bases, and 5 1/3 innings pitched. Ben wins by a walk by a hitter, 2 strikeouts, 3 errors, 2 wins, and 2 losses. For Ben on his bench, aside from Sunday, where he benched everybody except for Will Smith and Carlos Santana, he went 7 for 32. That's a 219 batting average with 4 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts that would have lost him the category. But he would have flipped RBIs and doubles, but he lost strikeouts had he played that. Is that how I'm gathering this?
Yeah, had he not benched his Sunday, he would have gotten all that.
Okay. As it turns out, the Sunday is kind of fruitful for him. Will Smith gives him 2 walks, and that wins him that category.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely played the right guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Only 2 moves this week. He added Ahmed Rosario, 2 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and a strikeout, dropping Rengifo. And he added Drew Gilbert, former top prospect of the New York Mets, who went over to the San Francisco Giants in the Tyler Rogers deal. He's now the starting right fielder for them all of a sudden.
Yeah, and so far, at least coming into today, he's over 10 with 4 strikeouts. So
All
it,
right, not a
you
great
know,
start. We're not
yeah,
off to a great start, but that
but
doesn't mean
10 at
anything.
bats isn't a lot. So we'll see.
Yeah. His MVP this week is going to be Ezekiel Tovar, 368 with a 400, 2 runs, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Nice to see him having a solid week for him.
Yeah, yeah, he needed him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the least valuable hitter is Brandon Nimmo, who did not record a hit and had a 190 on base percentage with 4 walks and 12 strikeouts. Did not record a hit. The 4 walks certainly helped. He needed every single one of them, but holy
Sure.
shit, 12 strikeouts.
Yeah, he had a golden sombrero at the beginning of the week. Like he's been a mess.
Mhm. The Cy Young this week goes to Nathan Evaldi, 8 shutout innings and a win, 6 strikeouts, and an 0-13 whip. The Cy Yuck goes to Yariel Rodriguez, 2 2/3, 4 walks, a strikeout, a 1688, and a 3. And this was the guy I was targeting in order to get Camilo Duvall onto Ben's team was
Mm,
Yariel Rodriguez and Sean Mania.
yeah. See,
So
I had this kid in the dynasty league, and he'd been
mhm.
really good. I just feel like maybe they're working with him too much. He hasn't pitched a lot prior to this year, so maybe he's starting to wear down because the last few
Mhm.
outings have been rough.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, he is rather young. He did come over from Cuba over the last couple of years, so maybe he is starting to wear down. 56 innings this year. Uh, Last year, how many did he have is a question.
Um,
86 and two thirds last year. So you'd think he'd be able to at least replicate that, but
yeah,
maybe he's just not.
but I know last year also he started a few games for them too last year.
Mhm.
Actually, I think he started all of his games last year. So, whereas this year he's really been just a reliever. So I don't know, but I mean, he'd been good. He's just hitting a
Mhm.
rough spot.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm fortunate Benji said no to the deal, and I ended up with who I ended up with. I will take that. For
Yes.
Josh on his bench this week, he goes 9 for 35. That's a 257 batting average. 3 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, 2 walks that would have won the category, and 6 strikeouts. The 2 walks are kind of dispersed throughout the week. One of them on Tuesday and another one on Friday. And that doesn't include Sunday when he benched everybody on his roster.
Right. Right.
So,
I
uh,
I just love that this is a premier matchup, and like it just seems like a real like a technical wrestling match, you know,
mhm.
like two heavyweights, but they're going at it in a technical way and just going down to the middle, flipped on Sunday. Like this was a great matchup.
This was great to watch. It felt like a playoff matchup, honestly. It felt
It really
like
did.
one of those
Yeah.
great playoff turns on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen what would have happened had they actually played all their offenses and we would have seen like real chess moves, but that's for the playoffs. That's not for right now.
Yep. Yep. We'll probably see it.
Yep. 6 moves for Josh this week. He added Romy Gonzalez 2 for 4 with 2 runs, a double, and an error. He added Kendall Graveman, who was awful in his relief appearance. Colt Keith 1 for 3 with a run, a double, and a strikeout. Logan Henderson off of waivers, who was placed on the IL, who was a waste.
Oops.
He added Carson Wisenhunt, 4 inning loss with 3 earned runs against Washington, and finally finished it out with Ryan Mountcastle, who's on the bench. Good to see Mountcastle back in the lineup.
Yeah, yeah. A little too late to be traded, so he's going to be with the Orioles for the rest of the season.
Yep, seems like it. The MVP this week for Josh. Yankee fans, cover your ears. It's Jose Altuve. He owned you guys this week. A 364 with a 417 on base, 4 runs, a double, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and an error. Very, very solid line from Jose Altuve this week.
He just doesn't stop.
No. The least valuable hitter goes to Zach Neto, 063 with a 167 on base, a double, an RBI, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The Cy Young, once again, and it seems like we're saying this more times than not, it goes to Brian Wu. 13 innings, 2 wins, 2 homers, a walk, 18 strikeouts, a 277 and an 077. I know Benji was hoping for a bad start on Sunday against the Rays. He did not get it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great start, but it certainly wasn't bad, and I mean, it was definitely quality.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, he's gonna be pitching against the Mets this weekend, so there's a tough one for us.
Because of course he is. Of course
Yeah,
he is. All right. The Cy Yuck this week for Josh goes to Kendall Graveman. 2 1/3 innings across 3 relief appearances with a 19.29 ERA and a 386 on the whip. Gross.
yeah,
Absolutely gross.
he has since been DFA'd.
Of course he has, because
Yeah,
nobody wants that shit on their roster.
yep. Dig that grave, man.
These guys, respectively, 14 and 15 games ahead of Cody for the bye. It's getting to the end here where Cody's going to need to make up a bunch of ground if he wants one of those buys. And I don't know that there's enough time to make it. He's got 4 weeks left.
It would be quite the feat, and he would probably just get it if he got it. I
Mhm.
think it's gonna be these two. I think this is how it's been for the past what 6 7 weeks or something like that. I
Mhm.
don't see it changing.
Yeah, these two have been locked in step. Now they're 1 game apart at this point. You may as well say that they are the co-leaders in the clubhouse at this point.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, they might as well.
it's literally razor thin. It's 2 wins apart right now between these two guys. It's that crazy.
Yeah.
This was a great matchup. Loved watching it and can't wait to see what these guys do in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, speaking of Cody, let's move to his matchup here against Mike Sherman. Cody, in fact, was trailing for much of the week here against Sherman, but ended up taking it down in 12-9 fashion at the end of the week.
Yeah.
On Sunday, Sherman flipped wins and untied walks by a hitter, but Cody untied saves. That's how
There
I'm
it
going to
is.
say that. That's how we're saying that. Cody untied saves and losses when Mike took a loss or two. So it was 11-7 going in, 12-9, Cody coming out. Close categories this week. Cody wins by a double, a triple, 2 losses, a save, and 2 relief appearances. Sherman wins by a walk and a win, and they did not tie in anything. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 12 for 50. That's a 240 batting average with 7 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 10 RBIs that would have won the category, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Or is that 8 strikeouts? I think that's 8 strikeouts.
It is 8 strikeouts.
It's 8 strikeouts. Yeah. I need to put my glasses on at some point.
Yeah, it's really Friday and Saturday were the big plays here. Starling Marte, he had on the bench twice, and he hit home runs both days. He has since dropped Starling Marte, so I guess he's just like whatever. I'm not gonna play him, so I'll drop him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was him and Langford was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts on Friday. Marte with a home run on Saturday, and Frelick was 0 for 3 or 0 for 4. I don't even know who Sal Frelick is. He's
Yeah, he's the kid in the Brewers. He's been all right.
yeah.
I mean, I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have started him over Starling Marte.
Mm.
Like, although Marte, when he plays, he's been good. So,
Yeah. I don't know. 9 moves made this week by Cody. Jung Hoo Lee, a 1 for 4 with a triple and 2 RBIs and a strikeout. How do you feel about that, Jason?
That hurts, but he didn't have a great week, and I don't miss him.
Okay.
I
He had a
I traded for him while Corbin Carroll was out. Corbin Carroll's back, so
so there you
I'm good.
go.
Yeah.
Okay. He had a Clayton Kershaw off of waivers, a 6-inning win, a walk, 1 earned run against Toronto and Max Scherzer. That was
Yeah,
a
that
hell of a
was that
start.
was the that was the classic match of the week.
That was a fun one to watch. I was watching that myself.
Yeah.
He added Zach Littell, but he was dropped before his start on Sunday, so that was a waste. He
Which
had
worked out because he was terrible.
oh, good. We need the Reds to be awful
Yes.
the rest of the
Yes.
way. Casey Legumina did not pitch and was a waste as well. Spencer Horowitz, a 1 for 4 with a run, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. Edwin Uceta for a bad relief appearance. Jose Alvarado, who's still suspended. Nathaniel Lukes 0 for 3. I think I said both of his names wrong there. Brian Baker. Brian Baker gave up a solo home run in his relief appearance. The MVP for Cody this week goes to Xavier Edwards. 417 average and on base percentage, 3 runs, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, and 2 strikeouts. Cody won doubles, triples, and stolen bases and errors. So good job. You got 5 stolen bases out of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, Cal Raleigh got 10 RBIs, but he hit 160 and struck out 10 times and made an error. So like, it was
Yeah.
not a fun week.
Not a great week. Not a great week. Not a great week for Jose Ramirez either, who hit 080 with a 148 on base percentage. 3 runs, a double, a steal, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, and his team swept my Mets. How the hell did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, and they kept saying that the whole series, how you think when you keep Jose Ramirez down, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Ramirez down, they couldn't win a game.
Couldn't win a single game, and then went on to lose all 3 to the Brewers as well in horrifying fashion. And we're tumbling. We're
Yep.
losing this grip on the East, and But we get the Braves this week.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know how I feel about that.
me either. Me either, man. Me either. The Cy Young for Cody goes to Clayton Kershaw. We talked about him, and the Cy Young goes to Devin Williams. While we're having our existential crises, the Yankees are having the same thing, and this guy is at the center of it. 4 relief appearances this week, 3 2/3 with 2 losses, 2 home runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, a 12.27 and a 191. This guy is a mess,
Yep.
and I don't think he'll be seeing another save opportunity for the rest of the year.
No. Although I was just talking to a buddy of mine, like how the similarity between what the Mets did and what the Yankees did at the deadline is really striking. Like Mets got Tyler Rogers and and Helsley for the back end of the bullpen. They got Cedric Mullins for the offense. Yankees go ahead and get Bednar and Doval for the back end of their rotation or the bullpen, and they get McMahon for their offense. And both teams are just absolutely struggling right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a mess right now, and the questions are coming for most of these guys right now. Of what are we doing with Jeff McNeil this year? What are we doing with all of these prospects that have come up through our system? We didn't cash any of them in for a big time starter. We didn't cash any of them in for a guy that's under team control or for multiple years. We just got rentals.
Right, right.
I don't
Um,
know.
yeah. Not to get too off course, but I was also thinking, what if? And I don't like this because I think I don't like him. But what if the Mets were to go out and sign DJ LeMahieu?
No, I don't want DJ LeMahieu.
Look, he's not going to do anything, but he's a veteran who can play all over the infield. And because Beatty is struggling, Mauricio is struggling, McNeil is struggling, like he's another bat off the bench that is better than fucking whoever else they got, Tyrone Taylor.
Ew, I don't like it at all.
I don't like it either, but
I don't like it at all.
they
Like
gotta do something. They gotta do
I'd
something.
rather I'd rather let these kids play and try to figure it out than sign DJ LeMahieu and pay him to eat up at bats. No way.
Yankees would be paying it.
No. No. Mm-mm. He's cooked.
Okay.
For Sherman on his bench this week, he went 6 for 34 with a 177 batting average, 2 runs, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. None of that shit plays. Uh, Congratulations. I guess the
Yeah.
only thing that's important here is a Brenton Doyle home run, but again, none of it matters. So,
No, no, it was absolutely brilliant.
yep. 5 moves this week from Sherman. He added Dustin May for a bad start against Kansas City. Carlos Carrasco for a 5 2/3 no decision, 6 earned runs against Miami. Tanner Gordon for a 4 2/3 loss with 10 earned runs in Arizona. Davis Martin for a 5 inning win, 3 earned runs against Cleveland. And Cole Henry for a clean relief appearance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw the ads of Tanner Gordon and Davis Martin, and I just went, okay, he just wants innings and whatever else he can get because
Mm-hmm.
the guys are terrible. I mean, Davis Martin actually gave him a decent start, but Tanner Gordon is just god awful.
Yeah, he was atrocious this week. For the MVP this week, it goes to Bo Bichette, who has been very nice here in the second half. 310
Yeah.
with a 333 on base, 8 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 10 RBIs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, 2 errors that we're not going to talk about.
Nope, they didn't exist.
They weren't a thing. They just the least valuable hitter goes to Francisco Lindor because of course it does. 083 with a 185 on base, 4 runs, a double, a steal, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, and an error. He's been lost at the plate for like, what is it, 6 weeks now?
This is the second matchup in a row where the least valuable hitter has been a Met.
Mm-hmm. I'm willing to believe that they're not the only ones.
Probably not.
No, the whole team is struggling right now. They might not be the worst one on a fantasy team for a week, but the whole team is struggling and it's bad.
Yeah, but yeah.
The Cy Young this week, Scott Barlow with 2 wins, so we'll go ahead and give it to him since Sherman won that category by 1.
I mean, he pitched to us almost a 7 ERA for the week, so
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
really did much here.
Yeah, Scott Barlow at least had 2 1/3 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts. So
There you go.
there you go. The Cy Young goes to Tanner Gordon. We talked about him. He was an absolute mess. Cody's locked in, man. He's in the playoffs as far as we're concerned, barring some sort of catastrophic collapse here at the end of the season.
Yeah.
He will most certainly be dancing in September with us. The
Yeah.
question is whether he's going to get the bye. He's going to have to put the hammer down in order to make that happen.
And look, I mean, he does have the kind of, he's got me, Ari, and Levy before he faces Ben. So, like, he might have an opportunity to make some noise, especially if that Week 22 matchup against Ben doesn't mean anything for Ben. Maybe he kind of, is kind of coasting into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
This could be an interesting kind of couple of weeks for Cody, but it's going to take a lot for him to get one of those buys, I think.
I think so too. But you know what? Good on you for fighting this far and getting to the number 3 seed. It's always a dangerous out when you are the 3 seed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. We're going to talk about Mike Haber taking on Chris Levy. It was a 13-7 win for Mike this week. On Sunday, Levy tied triples, which is unbelievable. A Sunday triple for Chris Levy is great.
Yeah.
He untied home runs by a pitcher when Mike gave up too many, but Mike untied stolen bases and flipped batting average. It was 12-7 going in, 13-7 Mike coming out. Close categories, Mike wins by 3 doubles, a steal, an error, 5 ticks on the batting average, and 4 relief appearances. Levy wins by 3 strikeouts, 2 wins, and a home run given up. They tied in triples. For Mike on his bench this week, he goes 6 for 20. That's a good 300 batting average with 3 runs, 2 doubles, an RBI, a steal, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. None of that shit plays.
Nope. He won batting average by 5 ticks, and a 300 batting average doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean a thing. His moves this week, and interesting one, because we're going to talk about this later, but on the other side of it, but he got Yenier Cano and Calvin Fauché from you for a trio of players that we'll talk about in a minute. So what was it about these 2 guys that you felt like you could give up upon?
At the time, this was happening kind of like right at the cusp of the actual trade deadline, the MLB trade deadline, and so we saw Dominguez get traded to the Blue Jays. We saw Andrew Kittredge getting traded to the Cubs, and we're going, who the hell is closing for the Orioles? It is it Cano. He's been terrible. So I was like, okay, sure, you can have him. And Calvin Fauché has been closing games for the Marlins, and yes, the Marlins are playing well, but it seems like the Marlins are not committed to throwing him only in the 9th inning. I see him warming up in the 5th inning in some games. So like, I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's the closer in Miami. So I felt like they were expendable.
Okay. And you ended up with a starter that's on the injured list and 2 other relievers. I think it's a pretty solid deal for you. We'll talk about it in a little bit here. Matt Wallner, he added for a solo home run, a 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Tommy Pham, 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Isaac Collins, whoever the fuck that guy is, he can
More on him in a minute.
Yeah, he can fuck off. 3 for 4 with a run, a double, a steal, and a walk. And big middle finger to you.
This guy too.
Blake Perkins, a 1 for 4 with a run. Andrew Saalfrank for a clean relief appearance. Ryan Bergert for 5 2/3, a home run, a walk, 8 strikeouts, 2 earned against Minnesota, no decision. Miguel Andujar, 2 for 3 with 3 runs, a homer, 3 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout. And Cade Cavalli after the bell. He apparently had everybody's phone number today. Everybody did something except Tommy Pham. And what did you expect? It's Tommy fucking Pham.
Right. But he drops Tommy Pham for Isaac Collins, and
Isaac Collins is the MVP this week. 467 with a 556 on base, 4 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. It was against our Mets. God damn it! Screw that guy.
terrorize our Mets.
Yeah. Him and Blake Perkins, who didn't do much for Mike's fantasy team, but threw out Starling Marte at the plate to end that game.
Sure did.
Fuck that guy, too.
Yep.
The least valuable hitter is Pete Crow Armstrong. 059 average and on base with 4 strikeouts. What a mess that guy was this week.
Yeah, he's definitely has fallen back to earth. I mean, if you look at his stat sheet here, there are no counting stats in the last like week and a half. Like there's
Wow.
nothing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, what a mess.
Yeah.
It's a shame because this kid was really off to a hot start. I still think he'll be 30-30 by season's end, but
Yeah, I mean, well, he's already got 30 stolen bases. He's got 27 home runs, so he just needs 3. I think he'll definitely get 30-30.
okay.
But his batting average is down to 259. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
could see that cratering down to like the 240s, and that'd be ugly.
that would be a little ugly. The Cy Young this week for him goes to Brandon Woodruff. 7 innings, a win, 2 homers, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, a 2.57 and an 0.71 against our Mets, of course.
Yeah,
Of
Mike
course.
had a thing for the Brewers against the Mets this weekend.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to the namesake, Joe Boyle, wherever he is.
He's no longer on the team.
3 and a third with a loss, a 16-20 and a 270. 3 homers, 5 walks with 5 strikeouts. That's a bad start.
Against Seattle and
Mm,
their revamped offense.
yeah. What a mess.
Yep.
For Chris on his bench this week, he goes 2 for 11. That's a 182 batting average with a run, a homer, 3 RBIs, and 7 strikeouts that would have lost him the category. He also had 2 starts, one from Verlander and one from Corbin on his bench. He would have won innings pitched with those 2. Is that correct?
He would have won innings pitch, but he would have lost, I think he would have tied homers given up. So
Okay.
it worked out.
Mm-hmm. 10 moves as expected from Chris this week. Harrison Bader, who was benched the only day he played, and then was dropped, so waste. Tyler Kinley for a bad relief appearance. Matt Festa for a win in relief against our Mets because we just suck right now. Bo Naylor 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Paul Goldschmidt 0 for 3. Ha-Sung Kim 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Cam Schlittler, 5 inning, no decision, 3 strikeouts against Houston with a 360 and a 160. Tomoyuki Sugano, 7 inning win with 4 strikeouts, a 129 and a 1 against the Athletics. Very nicely done there. And Ryan Jeffers, 3 for 4 with 3 runs, 2 RBIs, a walk, a strikeout, and an error. Finished it out with Matt Gage, who had 1 inning as an opener on a game that I was completely on top of that I'll talk about when we get to my matchup. But holy crap, was I on top of that game. The MVP this week goes to Ryan Jeffers. 538 average, 571 on base percentage, 3 runs, 3 RBIs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, and an error. Small sample size, probably, but
Yeah.
still worthy of being talked about.
Yeah. I mean, late week pickup, and the error hurts, but nobody else really did anything in this offense. So it kind of was him.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter is Adolis Garcia, 192 average and on base with a run, 2 doubles, and 8 strikeouts. This guy is just a crater.
Yeah. Do you think he gets drafted next year?
Yes, but very late.
Like just on the potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 226 with 63 RBIs, like this was supposed to be a 30-30 guy.
Yeah, absolutely was. And I don't think the steals are there much anymore. I think that's about what you can expect, 10 to 15 steals every year. And
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
get that from anybody.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Tomoyuki Sugano. We talked about him. The Cy Young goes to Jorge Alcala. What a mess that guy is. A third of an inning in a relief appearance. He gave up 2 bombs. He did strike out the only guy that he got out, but it was an 81 and a 9 on the ERA. So, yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was his that was against the Dodgers. Ew.
Yeah. He also got cut by the Red Sox, and the Cardinals picked him up off of waivers. So maybe he's going to see some more time in the Cardinals pen this year.
Why not? Because, who else they got? They don't got Ron Helston anymore.
All right. I got a text message from Mike this week. He found it very interesting that he and I were teetering on the edge of making the playoffs this year. I'll quote him directly so I don't misquote him.
Okay, I like that.
Um, you and I are in tenuous positions with only a few weeks to go. I've never hated my team more than I do this year. I said, no doubt, man. I've certainly got the easiest schedule on paper. Um, he goes, yeah, I think this is the year I'm ousted. So he doesn't think he's making it.
I know it has been a very love-hate relationship with his team all year. He
Mm-hmm.
did not he has said to me on occasion, he didn't like the way he drafted, he didn't like his team, like he has not felt good about this club pretty much all season.
Mm-hmm. And here it is, like hanging out in fifth place now,
Yeah. And he's
3 games up on a playoff spot. Like,
with Ben, Bobby, Lebo, and Josh to finish it out.
yeah, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly, but I think he can make it. He'll certainly be trying. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, he will. And he's gonna do Mike Haber things. And if anybody in this situation can make it in, it's him because we've seen what he can do. He just needs his team to really shape up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the players got to play at the end of the day. That's the only way you get in is with
Yeah,
them
when you have
performing.
Bobby Witt is banged up,
Mm-hmm.
Peter Armstrong is not hitting. Alonso is kind of hitting, but like these are the guys he needs to kind of figure it out. Lawrence Butler's been a mess all year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so these are the guys that need to figure it out, and he's running out of time.
4 weeks left, man. Crunch time is upon us. We shall see what Mike Haber has for us. Let's move on to the next matchup, man. We're going to talk about Brian Lebo taking on Bobby Russo. Now, this was a fun one to watch, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. This was another crazy one.
Yeah. On Sunday, Lebo flipped relief appearances, untied wins, and tied runs scored. So it was 10-8 Bobby going in. It comes out 10-8 in Brian's favor. So
Yeah,
one
yeah.
hell of a Sunday for Brian Lebo.
Another flipped matchup on a Sunday.
Oh yeah,
You gotta love it.
this is crazy. So close categories this week. Lebo wins by a home run, is 2 steals, 9 ticks on the batting average, a win, a save, and 3 relief appearances. Bobby wins by 3 losses and 3 home runs given up. They tied in runs, triples, and errors. Holy damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For Lebo on his bench, he goes 7 for 19. That is a 368 batting average with 3 runs that would have won the category, a double, a homer, 5 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. It was a lot on the bench here. There's a
But
lot on the bench.
both of these guys, you'll see both the batting averages for both of these benches are extremely high. And when you look at what their batting averages were for their starters, they both made the wrong choices.
Yeah, I mean, this is a mess. 182 with a 240 on base for Lebo this week, and he wins.
He won batting average with 182.
My God.
Yeah, yeah.
Gross.
Seven home runs combined between the two of them, like
Mhm.
ugly.
Yeah, this was hideous. 8 moves for Lebo this week. He gets Kyle Backus for a 2 inning save. Cade Cavalli four and a third with a no decision, nothing earned, 6 strikeouts against the Athletics. David Morgan for a clean relief appearance. Lars Nootbaar 1 for 5 with a run, a double, and 3 strikeouts. Jack Kohanowitz was atrocious against Detroit. Ryan Brazier did not pitch. Tommy Kahnle was bad in his relief appearance, and Cole Winn had a clean 2 inning relief appearance. His MVP this week goes to James Wood. I'm glad we're finally saying this dude's name again.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't a great week, but nothing was great in this matchup. So
No, it was a 278 average and on base, which is pretty solid. 2 runs, 4 doubles, a homer, 6 RBIs, and 9 strikeouts. The 9 strikeouts are ugly, but he needed every single one of those 4 doubles to win that category.
yeah,
The least valuable hitter is pretty much everybody else. Sal Perez hit 080. Eugenio Suarez hit 056. Jazz Chisholm hit 105. So did Alec Burleson. Like nothing really happened on this offense this week.
Augustin Ramirez 179. Like it was just a mess here.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully he bounces back because he's in a dogfight for this sixth spot in the playoffs, and he needs to put up better offense than this. Like this is a bad week. A 182 with a 240 and a 502 ERA. That's just a plain bad week, and he gets out of it with a win.
Right. That's not going to happen again.
No. The Cy Young this week goes to Sonny Gray. 7 innings, a win, 1 earned run, a home run, a walk, 7 strikeouts, an 086 on the whip, a 129 on the ERA.
That was Sunday night against the Cubs.
Very nice. Well done. The Cy Young is Aaron Savale or Jack Kohanowitz, or there were a bunch of dudes. Savale was particularly bad. 3 1/3, a loss, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 24, 30, and a 3. Ew.
Eduardo Nunez with his 54 ERA over 2/3 of an inning. Like, yeah, it was not good anywhere.
No, it was just plain not good, other than Sonny Gray, who made it look respectable at the end.
Right. On Sunday night.
For Bobby on his bench this week, he goes 8 for 19. That's 1 hit better than Lebo did on his bench because Lebo went 7 for 19.
Yeah.
So Bobby goes 8 for 19. That's a 421 batting average. 4 runs that would have won the category, a double, a triple that would have won the category, 4 RBIs, 2 stolen bases that would have won the category, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. What happened?
Bryson Stott. The stolen bases were Stott. The triple was Stott. The doubles were Stott. It's all Bryson Stott.
He needs to be playing this guy over Jorge Polanco is what we're getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, Polanco was not good this week. Stott didn't record a hit for Bobby, but like we said, steals, a triple, just a ton of good stuff on the bench from Bryson Stott. Yeah. Not the time to be benching that guy.
Nope.
9 ads this week for Bobby. Actually, no, not quite that many. Jack Dreyer for a clean relief appearance. Jesus Sanchez, a 1 for 5 with a run, a double, and a strikeout. Tyler Phillips, Cade Povich, 6 inning, no decision, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 1 earned against the Athletics. Adrian Hauser was insurance, ? I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't use him.
So. He didn't use him. So Connor Wong, 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. The MVP goes to Nick Kurtz, who's probably the rookie of the year at this point.
I think so.
318 with a 464 on base, 7 runs, a double, an RBI, 6 walks, 9 strikeouts, and an error. We won't talk about any of that. His least valuable hitter is everybody else because Bobby hit 173 with a 276 on base percentage.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Bryson Stott didn't record a hit for him. Jackson Merrill hit 091. Nathaniel Lowe hit 063. Polanco with his 190. Like it was just everywhere. It was just awful.
Yeah. O'Neal Cruz with a 120 and 9 strikeouts. Like it's a hideous week for him. Hopefully he bounces back as well because like we said, he's in the middle of this dogfight and you can't be putting these weeks up and getting away with it. Somebody's going to make you pay.
Yep.
For the Cy Young, we're going to give it to Garrett Crochet. 7 inning win, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 2.57 and an 0.71. And the Cy Young goes to Brock Stewart. Brock Stewart? 2 2/3 with a loss, a 6.75 and a 2.63 across 3 relief appearances. Bobby pitched fairly well here. He pitched to a 3.04 with a 1.11 across 53 1/3.
He did. It was nothing really stood out. I mean, Quinn Priester got blown up against the Mets, and they still lost.
Yep.
But aside from that, it was pretty much a good week from him on the pitching side.
Mm-hmm. These guys sit 7th and 8th respectively. They sit 4.5 games apart from each other, and Bobby is just 6.5 out of a playoff spot right now. This is razor thin, and each week is going to matter as we go forward. The schedule the rest of the way for Bobby is both of the Habers, then Frank, and finishes with Jimmy.
Yeah, that's no picnic.
No, no. And for Lebo, it's Costas, then the Habers, and then Frank.
Not a picnic either.
No.
Yeah, I mean, even with Costas in the standings, he's still fighting and he's still a tough competitor.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, neither one of these guys are gonna have it easy.
No. No, and they've got it right, like as literally as Aaron Boone says time and time again. It's all right in front of you. You
Yeah,
just got to go do it. So let's see what these two have in store for us over the last month. I certainly hope it doesn't include a 182 or a 173 batting average.
yeah, that's not gonna cut it.
Nope. Jason, it's time, man. It's time to say
Uh,
goodbye to the season.
I skip.
You skip. All right. Moving on to the next. No. You
uh,
took a bad loss here. Jimmy got you 15-4, man.
yeah, and what hurts the most is it was close all week. Like I was right there for the better part of the week, and then Sunday, I tell you, my guys go to church and they don't go to the ball field, and nothing happens on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, this particular Sunday, Jimmy flipped homers, RBIs, batting average, and on base percentage. That is four categories in the wrong direction for you on a Sunday. 11-8 was the score going into Sunday, 15-4 coming out. And
And
that pretty much puts the
and
wrap on your season.
And I tell you, and I was watching the Sunday night game, and I stopped watching after Imanaga got taken out. But I was like, okay, cool. Imanaga got he got the out that I needed. Riley O'Brien came in and got the out that I needed to give me innings. But then he got knocked around, so Jojo Romero comes in and gets innings back for Jimmy. So here I am thinking, okay, at least I got some category out of Sunday night. No, no, he's gonna take it back.
Oh, what
Yeah.
a what a sad state of affairs, my friend. It's a bad way to go out, but if you're going to go out, at least you're going out to a former champion on a ridiculous Sunday because we will talk about what Jimmy did on Sunday. It was
Uh-huh.
absolutely maddening. Close categories this week. Jimmy wins by a double, 2/3 of an inning pitched, a win, two losses, three home runs by a pitcher given up, and three relief appearances. Jason, you won by 2 runs, four walks by a hitter, and a save. You guys tied in triples and steals. For Jimmy on his bench this week, he goes 2 for 16. That is a 125 batting average with a double, an RBI, five strikeouts, and an error, and none of that shit plays.
Nope.
What you gonna
Nope.
do?
That can't do anything.
No, no, you can't do a damn thing. For his moves this week, he added Joey Lucchesi for a clean relief appearance. Casey Schmidt was a waste. Jacob Lopez, 7 2/3, a win with 10 strikeouts and nothing earned against Washington. Grr.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it because I picked up the other starter in that game and it did not work.
Oh, I see. He added Nick Enright for a clean relief appearance. Jake Berger, who was benched. Charlie Morton, 4 1/3 loss with 10 strikeouts and six earned runs against the Angels. Justin Verlander off of waivers. Cal Quantrill, Jason Alexander, and Matt Swanson. All of these guys were either benched or did not play.
Yeah, and I put in a claim for Verlander. I wanted him in case I needed any of the pitching categories. He was the next to late game before the Sunday night game, and of course Jimmy puts in the same claim, and he had that higher waiver priority, so he gets him instead of me.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got written here Cal Quantrill and Jason Alexander for steals as well.
No, they weren't steals, but I saw what he was doing. He
Mm-hmm.
was gobbling up whatever remaining pitchers there were, so that I had no interest in either of those two guys, but I saw what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. His MVP this week goes to Luke Keeschel,
Yeah,
or whoever that guy is.
this
Four
guy.
455 with average and on base percentage, 2 runs, three doubles, two homers, 10 RBIs, and a strikeout. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Like he comes off the IL just in time for this week and just tears it up. I was like, come on, who?
What interesting availability too at first, second, and center.
Yeah, Yeah, he kind of plays all over. He DHs sometimes for them. Like
Mhm.
yeah. I don't know what he is, but come on.
I mean, Jimmy tore the cover off the ball. He hit 295 with a 353 on base this week with 16 homers. His least valuable hitter, we're going to just skip over, and I'm just going to tell you what he did on Sunday, because what he did on Sunday was absolutely maddening. He went to a 485 with a 525 on base percentage, 9 runs, 2 doubles, 6 homers, 15 RBIs, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Jason, you got pummeled on a Sunday.
And so much of that happened before like I even knew it on Sunday. Like it happened early on Sunday, like I hit by a truck, and all of a sudden I woke up and like I just got the shit beat out of me. It was really impressive. It was very very impressive, but God, it sucked.
Yeah. The Cy Young is Jacob Lopez. We talked about him, and the Cy Yuck goes to Andrew Kittredge, who I assume is off the team, who had a 108 ERA and a 15 WHIP in his relief appearance, and of course took the loss.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Schemes was really good. Edward Cabrera, I was watching that on the stat sheet, and it's just
Mhm.
everything was working for him, nothing was working for me.
Yeah. Well, on your bench this week, sir, you went 7 for 36. That is a 194 batting average with 2 runs, a homer, 7 RBIs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts that would have lost you the category, and an error. So good job there. Nothing
Yeah,
to write home about.
yeah,
And you used all 10 ads along with the final trade. And this is where we get to talk about your receipt of Calvin Fauché and Yenier Cano. You get Sir Anthony Dominguez, Riley O'Brien, and Spencer Arrighetti. Talk to me
yeah.
about those 3 pieces.
So Arrighetti, he was on the injured list, but he was coming back, and he was looking really sharp in his rehab assignments, pitching for the Astros. I'm like, okay, I wanted another rotation piece. Seems like he's gonna be there for the rest of the year. So, but he was terrible against the Marlins, so that sucked. Riley O'Brien looks like he's gonna share closing duties in St. Louis, probably with Jojo Romero. He did get me a save, so and he got hit around a little bit last night, but his stuff looks good. So I like this kid. And Sir Anthony Dominguez, look, I mean, he was also really bad, but like Jeff Hoffman has been not great lately. So I feel
Oh,
like he might be next in line with Chad Green gone. So we'll see.
okay. We'll have to wait and see. More on Jeff Hoffman in a minute. I know Frank's listening and he wants us to talk
Uh-huh.
about that
I got
guy.
lots to say about that.
That guy's a mess. You got Cade Horton off of waivers, 5 2/3, a win, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned against Cincinnati. Victor Vodnik for a bad relief appearance. Pierce Johnson off of waivers, clean relief appearance with a win. Dalton Varsho, 3 for 5 with 2 runs, a double, 2 homers, and 6 RBIs with an error.
That was in Coors Field.
That's awesome. Did you
I was
see
there.
that? You were there?
Yeah. Yep.
JJ Bleday, 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Mitchell Parker, 5 innings, a loss, 4 earned runs against the Athletics.
That's the other side
Romy,
of the Jacob Lopez start.
okay, that's the other side.
Yeah.
Romy Gonzalez off of waivers, who was not in the lineup. Brant Herter, who did not pitch. Gavin Lux 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and Blaze Alexander after the bell. That is not a great way to finish up the end of your week, sir.
No, although Blaze Alexander did just hit a home run for me tonight. So
All right,
I'll
let's
take
go,
that.
Blaze Alexander. The MVP is going to be his teammate. That would be Ketel Marte. 318 with a 423 on base percentage, 7 runs, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. You did win the runs category by 2. You needed every single one of those out of Ketel Marte this week.
Yeah, but Dalton Varsho, this is the second time I've owned him in between IL stints, and he's come back. I don't know how much of it was Coors Field, but he had a week too.
Yeah, he has been very solid since coming back, and he's on a good team.
Yeah,
Yeah. Jackson Holiday is going to be your least valuable hitter. He did not record a hit with a 333 on base, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. What about this kid made you cut bait?
he's just been so bad. He hasn't hit a home run in I don't know since I was like 5. And he's striking out a lot. I have Jeremy Pena back now for shortstop. I have Ketel Marte locked in second base.
Mm.
I kind of didn't need him, and he's just been bad. So on a struggling Orioles team, decided to cut bait.
Time to get his walking papers.
Yep.
The Cy Young this week goes to Zach Gallen, 6 inning win, 6 strikeouts and 3 walks, a 150 and a 117. The Cy Young goes to Sandy Alcantara's 12 innings, 2 losses, 2 bombs, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, an 8.25 and a 175. Gross.
Yeah, but like I mean, Corbin Martin, who I thought was also going to be in the mix for saves in Baltimore, he was terrible.
Mhm.
Uh, Serenity Dominguez was terrible. Arrighetti was bad. Victor Vodnik was bad. It was not great.
Not a good week. Not a good week
Yeah,
for you, my friend.
and
And
yet there was a time where ERA and WHIP was getting close because he had some guys who were kind of getting bombed a little bit, and then the Jacob Lopez thing and the Edward Cabrera and the Paul Skeens happened, and there went that.
yeah, yeah. It's a sad state of affairs, Jason. It's you fought hard, but you are unfortunately not mathematically eliminated, but realistically eliminated.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a swan song. At this point, I just gotta hope to be in the consolation bracket at the end of the day. Um,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
because that is in fact quite a race right now.
right. It really is because you look at all these guys who are trying to get into that sixth seed. Only one of them is going to make it into the sixth seed, so a whole bunch of these other guys are going to fall out, and they're still going to be at the top of that consolation bracket.
Mm-hmm. As for Jimmy, now he just put his stamp of approval on his season and dumped himself right in the middle of the playoff picture.
Sure
He
did.
he is now the top of this glom that sits from him all the way down to Frank at 10th. And that whole glom is separated by 10 and a half games. 10 and a half games separate 7 teams.
It it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But Jimmy, look, he's got Ari and then Levy and then Ben and
Mm-hmm.
Bobby. So like
Mm-hmm.
he's got to be sitting pretty right now. And the way his offense clicked this week, I would not want to face him.
No, I would not want to be facing him either, especially in a playoff series in the first round. I want nothing to do with that. I would be very,
No,
very skeptical of putting that up. No way.
that would be scary.
No way. All right, man, let's talk about my win over Henry this week. I got a
Yes, sir.
12-7 win, surprisingly enough. I'm very shocked, but very happy.
Another flip.
It was, yeah, it was ugly midweek, I'll tell you that much. It was 14-4 on Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 14-4
yeah,
on Friday, but the score doesn't matter until the end of the week.
that's right. It's the last pitch on Sunday. That's all that matters.
That's right. That's right. On Sunday, Henry flipped strikeouts by a pitcher, but I flipped walks, on base percentage, ERA, and whip, and tied strikeouts when Henry struck out too many times. That is 5 change categories on a Sunday in my favor. 11-9 Henry going in, 12-7 me coming out. That's how you do that.
Beautiful.
Thank you, sir. Close categories this week. I win by a steal, 3 walks, 6 ticks on the batting average, 6 ticks on the on base percentage, a win, and 1 tick on the whip. Oh, yeah. One
That's a,
tick on the whip was
that's a whole
delicious.
bunch of ticks.
And Henry wins by an error, 3 losses, a save, and 5 strikeouts by a pitcher. We tied in triples and strikeouts by a batter. For me on my bench this week, I go 5 for 31. That is a 161 batting average with 2 runs, an RBI, 6 walks, and 7 strikeouts that would have lost me that category. Hoorah.
That's it. That's all I played.
That's it.
Good job.
For my moves this week, I used all 10, but I also had a trade that went through, ironically, with Henry. So we get to talk
Yeah.
about both sides of it in this matchup.
I absolutely the whole week I couldn't wait for it because I just love that the last trade of the week is against the two opponents like
Mm-hmm.
that's just so much fun.
So I sent Camilo Duvall to Henry. More on that guy in a little bit. But I received Matt Strom and Chris Bassett. I like Matt Strom for his strikeout ability and the fact that the Phillies are constantly using him. And Chris Bassett's a really solid piece for the rotation.
Yeah, yeah. Especially he's not he's not an ace, but you have Spencer Strider, you have Logan Webb. He's just another piece to kind of solidify that rotation as you're making this push. I love that move for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I added Yuki Matsui, who gave up a solo homer. I added Stephen Okert, an inning and two-thirds as an opener. Caleb Ferguson for a clean relief appearance. Carlos Vargas for a bad relief appearance. Jacob Junis for a bad relief appearance. John Schreiber for a clean relief appearance. Hurston Waldrop, 6-inning win with a walk and 6 strikeouts and an earned run against Miami. I have a funny story about this one.
Okay.
I'm on the phone with Frank, and we're talking about the doubleheader that's about to happen between the Atlanta Braves and the Miami Marlins. And he says, "Oh, Hurston Waldrop's going in that game tomorrow. I might just take the flyer on him." And as he's saying that, I hit the add button, and he gets added to my NA spot.
Oh,
I said, you ain't doing shit with Hurston Waldrop.
No, sir.
I took that one from him. That was a good one.
That's great.
Tobias Myers was not the best. 3 1/3, a no decision, 2 homers, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned, an 8-10 and a 2-10 against the Mets, but he didn't lose because we couldn't win.
Yeah.
Finished it out with Andrew Kittredge, who did not pitch, and Jackson Rutledge, who did not pitch. My MVP this week, welcome back, Max Muncy. We love to see you healthy and doing things again. 438 with a 609 on base percentage. 4 runs, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, 7 walks, 2 strikeouts, and an error. I love this guy. I really do. If he were to stay healthy for a full year, I promise you he'd hit 30 homers.
Yeah, and probably walk, 150 times?
Probably. The least valuable hitter this week goes to Marcus Semien, 077 average and on base, a run, a double, and 3 strikeouts. He's been very bad lately. I have a waiver claim in currently, and it involves dropping him. So we shall see if that goes through.
Yeah, I mean, he was a fun pickup because you kind of hope that he turns it around, but he has just been dreadful all year long.
Yeah, he's not good. And he doesn't belong on a playoff team, so he's going to have to go.
And it's funny, his batting line is pretty similar to Adolis Garcia, who we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
But yet, Marcus Semien's already been dropped once, possibly twice, and Adolis Garcia is going nowhere.
Yeah. My Cy Young this week goes to Logan Webb, who without him, don't know where I would be this season. 6-inning win, 10 strikeouts, a 150 and a 117. Love that guy. The Cy Young goes to Spencer Strider, 4 2/3 with a loss, 2 homers, a walk, 6 strikeouts, a 9.64 and a 2.57. I pitched pretty well. I pitched to a 4.11 over 72 innings. It was enough to get the win there. Yep. Again, 6 ticks on the on the average, 6 ticks on the on base percentage, 11 ticks on the ERA, and 1 tick on the WHIP. Took all 4 categories
with a whole bunch of ticks.
With a bunch of ticks. Tick check. Don't want lines. For Henry on his bench, he goes 1 for 17. That is an 0.59 batting average with 4 runs, an RBI, a stolen base that would have won the category, 4 walks that would have won the category, 8 strikeouts that would have lost him the category, and an error. For his moves this week, and again, he gets the other side of this deal. So he sends Strom and Bassett to me and gets Camilo Doval after we found out that Doval was getting moved to the Bronx.
Right.
He has since been a disaster.
He has. And it seems like right now David Bednar is probably the guy there right now, at least for saves. He's been the best of them so far.
Yeah, and that's not saying much, but it certainly begs the question, who is next for saves? We shall wait and see maybe tonight if they're playing a close game. I don't know. He added Ryan Bergert, 5 2/3 loss. Looks like 2 earned runs in Boston. AJ Blue Balls, 5-inning win in relief, and then he was optioned. Nestor Cortez for 4 2/3 no decision against Arizona. Braden Fisher for a clean relief appearance. Sean Reynolds, who gave up 5 walks in his relief appearance. Tommy Pham, a 1 for 6 with a run and a strikeout. And Osvaldo Bido, who did not pitch. He was expected to in long relief and then just never got into the game.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be Luis Severino's spot in the rotation. He got hurt, and they went with a bullpen game. And all the reports I was reading was that he was gonna be the long guy, and I guess Henry was seeing the same reports, and he never got into the game.
Yeah. I told you about that San Francisco game. That's the one that I was on top of.
Yep.
They threw a long reliever, K Wei Chen or Tang or
Yeah,
some.
yeah, whatever that
Okay,
guy's name.
I was this close to picking him up, but I was going to drop Severino, and I wanted Severino's start on Sunday,
Yep.
which then never comes
Because he got hurt.
because he gets hurt. I'm pissed. That guy was awesome in 5 innings of relief. It was amazing. His MVP this week goes to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who was amazing this week. 393 with a 414 on base, 8 runs, 4 doubles, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Christian Yelich, 143 and a 182 with 4 runs, a double, an RBI, a walk, and 7 strikeouts.
The only Brewer who didn't do anything against the Mets.
Thank goodness. I can't imagine what would have happened if he had. Tyler Glasnow is the Cy Young this week, 12 and 2/3, a homer, 6 walks, 15 strikeouts, a 2.13 and a 1.03. And the Cy Young goes to Sean Reynolds. He had a 27 ERA and a 480 whip, 5 walks, a home run over an inning and 2/3.
And a trip to AAA.
And a trip back to wherever theirs is, El Paso, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, El Paso. I got it right.
Yay.
Man, I can't believe I walked away with a win in this one.
Yeah, that was a fight. That was a fight. But look, this is what happens in this league. Like anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. And now Henry sits 7 games behind me for a playoff spot. But I mean, what is that even? That's one good week.
Yeah, one
That's
good week for
one
him, one
good
bad week
week.
for you. But there's a lot of other guys in the middle, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
Is you have this mess of guys all so close together. It's hard to make any moves. Make any waves in here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You
he's got
really got to stomp somebody out in order to make a wave like Jimmy did.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. He's got Adam, Costas, Sherman, and then me for the rest of the season. So I mean, it's favorable, I would say. He could really stomp some people here.
Sure.
Um, but he needs other guys to get stomped ahead of him too.
I think so. I think he's going to need some help, but he's certainly capable of doing it. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh yeah.
All right, Frank, time to talk about your matchup with Ari. And he finally got it. He finally got his win over Ari. Hooray, Frank.
Good job. Good job, Frank.
10-8 is the final for Frank over Ari this week. On Sunday, there was a lot of shit going on, but at the end of the day, it was 9-9 going in, 10-8 Frank coming out. Bunch of stuff happened on Sunday. Ari
Yeah, crazy.
strikeouts. Frank struck out too many times. Ari tied walks by a pitcher when Frank gave up too many walks. And then Frank tied homers, untied wins, and Ari took a loss, and Frank flipped innings pitched.
Basically, everything changed on Sunday.
Yeah, everybody was giving each other categories on Sunday, and it ends up 10-8. Close categories this week. Frank wins by 3 runs, a double, a win, a loss, and 2 home runs given up. Ari wins by 2 saves, and they tied in triples, home runs, and walks by a pitcher. For Frank on his bench this week, he goes 7 for 30. That is a 233 batting average with 6 runs, a double, 2 homers that would have won the category, 2 RBIs, a steal, 5 walks that all would have tied the category, 7 strikeouts, and an error. The real play here is the home runs, and it's Xander Bogaerts again. It's Xander Bogaerts on Tuesday and Wednesday, each with a home run. McKinstry was 1 for 4 with a strikeout and an error at second base on Tuesday, and Rafaela 0 for 3 with a strikeout and an error in the utility spot on Wednesday. You're not going to get them all right, but this is a spot where it could have really helped him out.
Yeah, because I mean, he's in a spot right now where he needs every category he can possibly get, and he's had troubles all year long with Bogarts and all of his other middle infielders trying to figure out who to put in where, and he hasn't really seemed to get it to work.
Right. He's got to lock it in here for the final 4 weeks and really grind out every stat he can. I told him he needs every single stat against Levy this week because it gets no easier in the final three.
No, he did change his name, his team name, so we'll see if that does anything for
We'll
him.
see if that shakes things up. We'll see. For his moves this week, he used looks like close to 10 of them. He added Daniel Lynch for a clean relief appearance, Tommy Nance for a clean relief appearance, Hunter Harvey for a clean relief appearance, and Erasmo Ramirez for a 2-inning relief appearance with a solo home run allowed. He added Colby Allard for a clean relief appearance, Nick Gonzalez 1 for 5 with a strikeout, Ian Seymour a clean 2-inning relief appearance, and Casey Mize a 5-inning win, 5 2/3 inning win with 2 earned runs against the Angels. His MVP this week goes to
I,
Alex Bregman. What's up?
I find it interesting. Again, you know how Ari operates, but he front loaded a lot of his moves on Monday, against a guy who doesn't make moves. So I feel like
Mhm.
you probably could have at least spreaded that out a little bit more, or waited for use some more in the back half of the week when you see how things are shaking out. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he won all of the categories that you can go get against Ari: innings
Sure.
pitched, strikeouts, wins, relief appearances. He did tie walks given up, and that was incredibly fucking circumstantial on how that happened. More on
Uh
that in a minute.
huh.
But I think he did a good job here getting what he could against Ari. The offense just didn't quite keep up with Ari's offense. And that's really what it boils down to every week with Ari is how well that offense is going to hit and
Right.
who can keep up with him.
Yeah.
For Frank's MVP this week, it is Alex Bregman, who hit 368 with a 538 on base percentage, 5 runs, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 6 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 errors we won't talk about. The least valuable hitter is Nick Castellanos, a 100 with a 100, 3 runs, and 5 strikeouts. That's it. It's the
Yeah.
whole line. The Cy Young goes to Kevin Gossman. 7-inning win, two walks, 8 strikeouts, a 129 and an 071. And the Cy Young goes to Mr. Jeff Hoffman, who had 1 relief appearance this week, 2/3 of an inning. He got a win, but he gave up 5 walks. And those 5 walks are what cost Frank the walks category on Sunday.
And I'm not gonna get on the soapbox, but this is where that win category is like, that's not a win. I'm sorry, like there's nothing about that says yes, you deserve a win for that, buddy. You walked 5 dudes. Here's your win.
Here's your win for being the pitcher of record when the team took the lead. That's all it
After
is.
you were terrible.
You were terrible. You set up this situation and the team bailed you out. Here's your W, sir.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Hey, it's the win that gives Frank the win over Ari this week.
Oh yeah.
So I think he'll take it regardless. I think he'll take a win and a tie over a tie and a different win.
Yeah. Yes.
For Ari on his bench this week, he goes 11 for 58. That's a 190 batting average. 7 runs that would have won the category, 3 doubles that would have won the category, 2 homers that would have won the category, 6 RBIs, 5 walks, and 13 strikeouts that would have lost him the category.
A light bench for Ari, but a lot of things played.
A lot of things played. It's Ward and Bush on Saturday. Looks
Yeah.
like they had a big day, and Story was 0 for 5.
That was those are, I mean, Saturday was the day. I mean, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
That was it. Only 3 moves this week from Ari, but hey, we're happy he made 3 moves. Shane Smith, 5-inning, no decision, 8 strikeouts, a 360 and a 1 against Seattle. Patrick Corbin, a 4 1/3, a loss, a 3 earned runs, a 623 and a 162 against Philly. And Josh Lowe, 1 for 3 with a run, a double, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. The MVP this week goes to Julio Rodriguez, who might be getting hot now at just the right time for Ari. 320
Yeah.
with a 370 on base, 6 runs, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, a steal, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. This is usually when he does get hot, is toward the end of the season. And everybody's like, oh my God, I have to draft Julio in the first round again.
But for the Mariners, this is a good time for him to get hot after they just revamped that offense, and he's sitting right on top of it. So that's fun.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter this week goes to Royce Lewis. 105 with a 190 on base, a run, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Jason, how you feel about this guy? Are you
Um,
still really high on this guy?
I guess not. I'm kind of glad I don't have him anymore. This is not a good year for him, not a good year for the Twins. I do feel like he spent most of it fairly healthy,
Mm-hmm.
which is a plus, but he just hasn't produced.
Right. The a Cy Young this week for Ari is Dylan Cease, 6 inning win, 7 strikeouts, a 3 and a 1. The Cy Yuck goes to Patrick Corbin. We talked about him. Frank needs every stat. He is that damn close, and he can make it, but he's got to get hot right now.
Yeah, yeah, with Levy, Ben, Bobby, and Lebo rest of the way. You're absolutely right. He needs to wipe the floor with Chris this week and try to figure out how to navigate the rest of that.
Yeah, yeah, and it's got to be done that way. Unless he plans on blowing out one of those three guys, Ben, Bobby, or Brian, and even then, he might need to blow one of them out and win again against another one of them in order to get in.
Yeah, and again, like Henry, he's gonna need some help above him too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Jason, you're not the only one that we are saying goodbye on the season to. We have done this with Costas. We've done this with Mike Sherman. We are now saying goodbye to Adam Lowenstein. He takes a 10-9 loss this week in the final matchup we're going to talk about here to Costas Paragas. So good on Costas playing spoiler. We've talked about this for a couple of weeks now. He's doing really well as this spoiler team you don't want to see on your schedule when we thought it would just be part of the soft underbelly.
Yeah, but he's not because he's so pesky and he makes the right moves. He knows how to win and how to play this. It's just his guys didn't always cooperate.
Yeah,
But he's a savvy manager. I really gotta give him credit.
no doubt. A ton of credit here this week. The on Sunday, Costas flipped strikeouts by a pitcher, tied wins, and tied losses when Adam took a loss. So it was 12-9 Adam going in. It comes out 10-9 Costas. This is another flip on Sunday.
That's five matchups changed hands on Sunday.
That's insane. It's
It's
playoff
absolutely
season.
crazy. At this stage of the season, it's heartbreaking for some people.
Yeah. Close categories this week for Costas. He wins by a triple, an error, 6 ticks on the batting average, and 9 ticks on the whip. For Adam, he wins by 3 doubles, 3 steals, and a save. They tied in wins and losses. For Costas on his bench, well, he didn't have any. So none of it plays.
Yeah, X all the way through.
Yeah. Costas playing without a bench at this point, and you know what? More power to him. It seems to be working.
Yeah, I mean, why not? No decision making.
No, and he just fills in where he needs.
Yeah,
His ads here, 10 of them. He added Brandon Lockridge 0 for 3, Matt Shaw 0 for 1, Miguel Andujar 0 for 1, Jacob Marcy 2 for 4 with a run, an RBI, and a steal, Dylan Dodd for a clean relief appearance, Taylor Clark for a clean relief appearance, Joey Cantillo for a good start against the White Sox, Brandon Eisert for a clean relief appearance, Kobe Allard again for a 2-inning relief appearance, and Stephen Okert for who did not pitch. His MVP this week was Trey Turner. 261, 414 on base percentage, 3 runs, 2 doubles, a triple, a homer, 6 RBIs, a steal, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts. There are a couple of other options here, but he was pretty damn solid.
yeah. And Costas won triples and walks, and the triple from Turner is what kind of won that matchup. Won that stat. So, he was solid.
Yeah. The least valuable hitter goes to Willie Castro, 059 average and on base with 3 strikeouts. This guy's been a mess since coming to Chicago.
Yeah, he hasn't really hit the ground running. He's not been great.
No.
But I don't think the Cubs really need him to be great. They just need him to kind of play everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of need him to pick it up, though. They're losing ground to the Brewers in the Central, and
True, true.
you know,
Um, yeah, we'll see. I mean, he has the ability to. He just needs to get adjusted, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Gavin Williams is the Cy Young this week. He goes 8 2/3 of 1 run ball because it was a solo home run by Juan Soto in the ninth inning of a no hitter against our Mets. He got
Yep,
a win, a 104 and an 058.
yep.
The Cy Yuck this week goes to Brady Singer, who was pretty bad. Is he still on the roster? He is still on the roster.
Yeah.
3 2/3, a loss, a homer, 4 walks, a 982, and a 273. Just a bad week from Brady Singer. Bad week on the whole. Um, Not from Costas. He pitched beautifully at 317 with a 120, but a bad week
Yeah.
from the Reds.
I mean, it's really him and Mike Burrows were really the two, kind
Mm-hmm.
of standouts. But you know, you'll take that.
You'll take it. You'll take the win. For Adam on his bench, he goes 6 for 35. That is a 171 batting average with 2 runs, 3 doubles, a triple that would have won the category, 4 RBIs, a walk, 11 strikeouts, and an error. The triple comes from Ramon Laureano on Tuesday. He had a double and a triple and 3 RBIs with Mickey Moniak, 1 for 4 in right field. And the
Yep.
Colorado Rockies were not playing in Colorado this week.
Yeah. So that's the day. That's the day to do it.
Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, this is not the decision that cost Adam his season. It's just
No.
it's the thing that just at the end of the day boils it down to, well, this was the miss, but you had to beat Costas pretty good in order to make the next 4 weeks matter. It's
And
over.
it didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah. His moves this week, he made 3 of them. Michael Soroka, who left with a shoulder injury, Kyle Leahy for a clean 2 inning relief appearance, and Emmett Sheehan for a 5 inning win, nothing earned against St. Louis. The MVP this week goes to Josh Naylor, who has been ridiculous this year. 500 with a 588 on base percentage, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 5 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, 2 walks, and a strikeout. If I were to ask you, what does Josh Naylor have more of, home runs or stolen bases? What would you say?
uh, by the glare in your eye, I'm gonna go with stolen bases.
Josh
Um,
Naylor has 15 home runs and 22 stolen bases.
yeah. Who saw that coming? I mean, he stole uh 6 last year, 10 the year before.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's on a contract here.
You're not kidding. And I read he's like the first player in history to hit four more home runs and steal like 10 or more bases in their first X amount of games with the new team. Like, it, he's just crazy.
He's had an insane year, and it's going to be very interesting in the offseason to see where he lands and who he lands with and for how much money.
And for Adam, you remember he drafted him and Matt Olson, sitting at the Islanders game going, well, shit, like, how am I going to get both of them in the lineup at the same time? And he finally trades Olson to free up Josh Naylor, but now it's too late.
Yeah. I think he made the right decision. I think he just made that decision a bit late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The least valuable hitter goes to the bad side of Ellie De La Cruz this week, a 207 with a 233 on base, 2 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, a steal, a walk, 12 strikeouts, and an error. Yeah, this is the bad side of Ellie.
Yeah. That's how it breaks down. There's a good Ellie and there's a bad Ellie. This is a bad
Mm-hmm.
Ellie.
Yeah. David Bednar is the Cy Young this week. 3 relief appearances, 4 1/3 innings, a win, a save, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned, in an 092. He almost blew that fucking game
Yep.
where he
Yep.
pitched an inning in 2/3. He almost blew that game, but he held on.
Yeah. I mean, he's been the most reliable of the new acquisitions, but it's been very touch and go.
Yeah. Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Reed Detmers, an inning and a third, a loss, a homer, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 20-25, and a 3 over 2 relief appearances. But this guy's been solid on the back end of the Angels pen too.
Yeah, yeah, and you gotta figure like if kind of Jensen is done after this year, like he's a good fill-in for him.
Yeah, I think that might be the way they go if Ben Joyce doesn't come back.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. All right, man. It's time to talk about it. Who's your manager of the week, dude?
Uh, Look, maybe it's a little biased because I was part of it, but I'm gonna give it to Jimmy. It stomped the shit out of me and probably stomped his ticket into the playoffs. All in 1 week. Really, I mean, on one day, if you want to break it down, like I mean, Sunday was just absolutely incredible. And the moves he made, he out wavered me for Verlander again. I wasn't going for Quantrill or Jason Alexander, but those moves that he picked those guys up, and it was just very savvy. So I gotta give hats off to Jimmy.
Yeah, hats off, Jimmy Dunlap. Great, great week for you. Great Sunday, showing why you are a former champion and why you just belong in the playoffs this year. Jason, it is week 18. We are in the books with week 18. We are into week 19. We have 4 weeks to go, man. This is absolutely crazy. I can't wait to see whose heart gets broken, and I hope it's not mine.
No, I look. This has been a very long story, and it's not over yet. There's still a
No,
lot to be written in a short amount of time, and I can't wait to see what happens.
there's still a month to go, and then we got 3 weeks of the playoffs. It's going to be a wild 7 weeks to finish the season. I can't wait to see what happens. Thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And look, now I get to just kind of relax and watch and see how everything plays out. So, but you know what? I'm still looking to play spoiler. So
Oh
next week.
yeah, I've got you next week. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it, buddy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Until next time, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.